Well, Justin Lin gave me a phone call and he said, "Hey, I've been thinking about this and I think it's time for Han to make his return." And um, yeah, I think time was removed long enough for me to miss everyone, and there was just this wonderful feeling of, you know, the thought of going back to set and seeing your friends and family again, and all the crew members that I got to work with over the years and seeing those familiar faces. So, that phone call meant a lot to me. And it was like getting a call, from your family members saying, "Hey, we're having a reunion and you're invited this time," right? Oh yeah, oh yeah, because I'm a fan. Ever since Fast One, came out, I've been a fan of the franchise. So, I think it's important to, you know, keep track of all the movies that are coming out, even if you're not in it, because then, it's a way to see your old buddies on screen, and how some of them got a little older and wiser. So yeah.
Yeah.
Well, part of it is like, your first day at a new school again, like you wonder if you're gonna get, accepted, or you're gonna be eating lunch alone, but then, coming back, often say how, art imitates life, right? And, it was one of those situations where, as soon as I came to set, there was just hugs, hugs and smiles, and in between the text, there were jokes and laughs, and we just kind of went back to our shorthand. And so, you know, it was just plopping into a family reunion, as simple as that. Mm. Well, I think if you talk to any actor that's worked with Justin, over a course of time, a significant chunk of time, I think each actor develops a shorthand with them because it's pretty simple. It's like developing a shorthand with your coach, If you played sports and you're on a soccer team or basketball team, and you have a really good coach that you care about and respect, and he cares about his players and respects his players, you're going to build a shorthand. And now we're at a point where, we don't have to say much to each other. I know, what he needs in the scene and what he expects of me. And, he knows my strengths and he knows my weaknesses. And we can kind of just look over each other and, give each other a nod. Or if nothing's said, that means that, we're busy. We gotta get going. We don't need to be, patting each other on the back, So, yeah. No, no, no. I got to a point, like you were saying earlier, is, we're surrounded by such a talented crew of passionate people that love what they do every morning. So, they're not coming to work. They're coming to play and play pretend for the day. And where have they taken this franchise in terms of the action, the outrageous and crazy, stunts that are being performed. It's, now we are in a way, desensitized to it. We're like, of course it's gonna get bigger and bigger. Of course they're gonna go to space. Of course they're gonna be, in a submarine, right? And the
Yeah.
question is, when you finish the script, it's really like, what's next? Where else do we have to go? I think we have to go to the center of the earth or something like next, right? So, yeah. You know what? I don't know about you, but you meet people, certain people on set, and in a way you do get like starstruck, And the reason I was starstruck with John was because he's a wrestler, and I grew up wanting to be him, a wrestler, like a WWF or WWE wrestler, and I kind of feel bad because I think maybe John wanted to focus or talk about other things, but all I just kept asking him was like, "How do you do that move? Like when you do a pile driver, do they actually get hurt? And is it like acting where you're pretending?" And like I wanted to go to the trailer with him and have a wrestling match to just to pretend, right? So, I think every time he saw me, he started avoiding me because it's like the fanboy chasing him and going, "Hey John, hey, can you teach me that move? How about a suplex? How about a suplex for your boy?" Right? So, but John, I don't know if you met him or you've got to speak with him for a, a decent amount of time, but the dude is hyper intelligent. I mean, he speaks Mandarin fluently. He's a wonderful musician, and it's very cerebral. You know, you wouldn't think that that body is going to be, you know, surrounded by that mind, right? But, you know, when they use those words, gentle giant, you know, he definitely is that. But, you know, don't dismiss, you know, gentle, because there is a, you know, highly intellectual, you know, highly evolving human being under all that muscle, you know. So fascinating guy to just hang out with and pick his brain. You know, I heard that Francis Ngannou was going to be, you know, in a scene, and we were going to be in the scene together, and it was going to be a fight scene. And, you know, I'm a fan of USC, and, you know, the idea of getting to work with a, you know, a real fighter and watching him work and learning from him, you know, was, you know, super exciting for me. You know, it's like, usually Han is a driver, and, you know, he's the quiet spoken ladies man, if you will, you know, so he doesn't have that much action throughout, you know. So, you know, the fact that I got to go head to head with another character who in real life would pummel me right in a second. You know, I guess I would start that answer of, you know, what is Vin like a leader on set, right? He sets a what is the how do I describe this? It's like, you ever have a friend, like a uncle or aunt or a grandfather, that you're always looking forward to seeing because you know he's gonna have a full refrigerator and a whole bunch of toys for you, right? He's gonna have great stories, and he's gonna kind of let you do what you're gonna do during the summer and just let you be a boy or a kid, right? And that's who Vin is. You know, that's the feeling. You know, you show up to location, and, you know, he's everywhere. You know, he's in your room because there are gifts from him saying, "Hey, welcome back to the family. I just wanted to show my appreciation." You know, and it's stuff that I would never buy for myself, like, you know, British jam or preserves. You know, it's like, you know, it's real fancy stuff, but and it's not. I don't think it's the item that matters. It's always the thought. You know, and you know, Vin is, you know, he loves other actors. You know, it's like, you know, you feel safe around him. You know that inside, you know, this gigantic movie star is still that kid that just wants to play pretend with his friends. And but it's up to him to kind of set the tone, right? So, yeah, you know, it's just, you know, they say, you know, the energy starts from the top, and it's where it starts from. This time in particular, I personally didn't get to travel that much outside of London. And that was enough for me because you can walk around London all day and keep yourself busy. You know, the museums are free, the culture is on every corner. You can, you know, jump into you know, a London cabbie and get the history of the town. And, you know, the amount of respect I even, you know, learned from the cabbies, you know, of like what they had to go through to get their license was, you know, it's pretty amazing. So the city itself has so much to offer. You know, I felt like, you know, it was kind of cool. I didn't have to pack up and go somewhere else, you know, and start over. You know, it's nice to just be in one central location and start finding your friends and your community, right? So London is an amazing place to shoot. You know, it's just I think because it has so much history with theater and, you know, and acting. As an actor, it just feels safe. You know, I don't have to justify my existence there. You know, you go, "Hey, what do you do? You're an actor." Well, that's great. You want to go to the pub, right? That's it. Absolutely. You know, to prepare to play Han physically, you know, because there is action in the film, and, you know, I've learned my lesson in the past that you better be in shape when you show up to one of these movies because, you know, physically it's very demanding. I mean, you have to give credit to the stunt performers. They're the ones that risk their lives, and they're the ones that make us look great. But, you know, we do have to step in, and there's continuity things. So, you know, we have to be a part of it. And, you know, if you're not physically in shape, and as you get older, it's harder. You know, it's harder to get up 10 times in a row, right? So, you know, I had to go and, like, actually go train and get my core into shape and, you know, work out and eat properly. because sometimes the hours are demanding, so you have to be healthy, or you're gonna get sick and you can't come to work, and it's gonna affect the movie as a whole, right? And then on a psychological level, I think just like any role an actor takes on, it's so different from who you are. Justin says it all the time that I'm so different from Han in real life. Sung is not even close to that guy. His swagger and his self-esteem, all of that is completely contrary to me. And so I have to go psychologically find the center again, and I have to figure out why this guy exists in this world and how am I able to keep him upright. So. But it's much easier after you play the role a few years, and then you're with the same people, and you have a director that really understands the character. So even when you kind of get a little lost, there's enough people on set to find that road back. So. Absolutely. The benefit of filmmaking opposed to TV, it's not, and it also depends on the director. Some directors are very adamant on the word, like there's no change, you don't deter from what's on paper. But just in him understanding and loving actors, he understands that we are there to contribute, and there's a difference from when someone's going to say, I'm going to do it my way, or I think this will help the character in the scene, right? And with that approach and that perspective, everyone's open. As long as it's true and it feels honest, everyone's up to kind of alter it a little bit. So I don't worry about it because to me, I don't think people just show up for the action. That's a part of it, and it is a Fast and Furious movie, so there are going to be certain things that you expect. That's like ordering an avocado toast. You expect toast and avocado at least, right? You would hope, right? I would hope, right? But if they're gonna put some, truffle oil on it or truffles on it, some, maybe a slice of tomato. Hey, I don't mind, right? But I think, at the core of it, the reason I don't worry about it and the reason I think that the fans will keep coming back, as long as the right people are in control of this franchise, is that it's that ongoing theme of family. That's something that I don't think you have to up. I think you have to just revisit, and you have to just find the truth in it, And, sometimes, family drama is so mundane, but then when you shoot it a certain way, it's more exciting than the action, right? There are more knives out within a family dinner than in a Fast and Furious movie, right? Yeah.
Hi guys, here's today's action-packed fact. The Fast and Furious films offer high-octane filled plots, but many actors, like Michelle Rodriguez and Jordana Brewster, were so young at the time that they didn't even have a driver's permit. Good thing their talent allowed them to be in the movies anyway. By the way, what is your favourite film in the franchise? Let us know. Remember to click below to subscribe or on the side for more great content.